The Grand Crescent Hotel had never looked more magnificent. Crystal chandeliers bathed the ballroom in warm golden light, fresh white roses decorated every table, and a live orchestra filled the room with soft classical music. Luxury cars lined the entrance as politicians, celebrities, CEOs, and philanthropists arrived in elegant gowns and tailored tuxedos for the annual Hope Foundation Charity Gala. Behind all the glamour, dozens of hotel employees worked tirelessly to ensure the evening ran perfectly. Among them was Maria Santos. At 28, Maria had worked as a maid at the hotel for nearly 4 years. She cleaned rooms during the day and helped with special events at night. Ever since her husband passed away in a construction accident, she had been raising her 3-year-old daughter, Lily, alone. That evening, her babysitter canceled at the last minute. Maria had begged neighbors for help, but no one was available. Missing work wasn't an option. She desperately needed every paycheck to cover rent, groceries, and Lily's preschool fees. The hotel manager reluctantly agreed to let Lily stay in the employee lounge, but when the room became crowded with supplies, Maria quietly brought her daughter into a quiet corner of the ballroom where she could keep an eye on her. Lily wore a neatly washed yellow dress that had once belonged to her cousin. Though old, Maria had carefully mended every loose stitch. "Stay here, sweetheart," Maria whispered, handing her a small coloring book and a box of crayons. "Mommy won't be far away." Lily smiled brightly. "I'll be good." She sat quietly, coloring flowers and butterflies while watching the glittering ballroom with wide, curious eyes. Nearby guests noticed her. Some looked away without a second thought. Others whispered among themselves, "Whose child is that? She shouldn't be in here. This is a formal gala." Maria heard every word but continued polishing silver trays and clearing empty glasses. She kept her head down, refusing to let anyone see how much those comments hurt. An hour later, excitement swept through the ballroom. The guest of honor had arrived. Alexander Whitmore, billionaire entrepreneur and founder of one of the country's largest charitable foundations, entered the hall. Cameras flashed as donors and executives gathered around him, hoping for a handshake or a photograph. As Alexander greeted guests, something unexpected caught his attention. In the far corner, away from the spotlight, sat a tiny girl quietly coloring. No complaints, no running around, just patiently waiting for her mother. He watched as Maria rushed from table to table, occasionally glancing toward Lily with a reassuring smile. Alexander turned to the hotel manager. "Who is that little girl?" The manager looked embarrassed. "She's the daughter of one of our maids. Her babysitter canceled." Alexander nodded thoughtfully. Moments later, he was invited onto the stage to deliver the keynote speech. The audience applauded as he approached the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "thank you for supporting such an important cause." He paused and scanned the room. "Before I continue, I'd like to invite one special guest to join me." The audience looked around in confusion. Alexander pointed toward the little girl in the yellow dress. "You, young lady." Maria's heart nearly stopped. She hurried forward. "Sir, I'm so sorry if she disturbed anyone. We'll leave immediately." Alexander smiled kindly. "No, ma'am." He stepped down from the stage and knelt beside Lily. "I was hoping she'd help me." The room fell completely silent. Taking Lily's tiny hand, the billionaire walked her onto the stage. Thousands of eyes followed the little girl who had been invisible to almost everyone just moments before. As Alexander looked across the crowd, his voice became calm and sincere. "Tonight we've spoken a great deal about generosity," he said. "But the first act of kindness begins with noticing the people everyone else overlooks." The ballroom remained silent. For the first time that evening, no one was watching the famous billionaire. They were all looking at the maid's little daughter.